What it do? What's happening? Back for another one. You already know what the deal is, you know what I'm saying? In this lecture, we're going over the Cordovian Emirate and the Andalusia Antiquities, right? As far as the Cordova Kingdom and stuff like this, also, so you know what part of the map we're looking at. This is in Spain, right? Kind of like Atlantic Ocean. We get the idea, right? Got this shit on the side of my computer, so it'll do for now, right? But maybe. Hold on. Okay, that'll have to work. Alright. But in the hold on, let me try and get this back in a wider POV. itself. I should be cooking. Anyways, y'all, I have to fix a few things real quick and stuff. But the Cordovian Empire, it was around 8th century, right? And it was a major center for scientific discovery, as far as not only astronomy and theosophic works and stuff like that, but it was also important for physical scientific discovery, right? Like, this is where we would see important surgical instruments being crafted and created, as far as stuff like cauterization, which is it's kind of like burning a part of your body to stop the bleeding, so it wouldn't like continue to, you know what I'm saying, profusely kill yourself, right? Or not that deeply, but you get the idea. Like I'm saying, to stop someone from bleeding out, people would burn their skin so it can melt and like form a new part, right? And stuff like incisions, and they actually started to practice venesections, right? Or venesections, which in my opinion, because it's their terms of, it's mainstream's terms of saying vampirism, in my opinion, because venesections is like drawing blood, sticking a needle in you, drawing blood, stuff like that. But that's different ideas as to what that may be. But in these times of the scientific discovery, Al-Zawrawi was one of the best known physicians. He was regarded as one of the greatest physicians in the history of the entire Western Islam. After publishing his book, The Arraignment of Medical Knowledge, which is just a comprehensive medical encyclopedia for as the people started to get more and more aware of what science is out there and stuff, and people would migrate over towards the northern, or I should say northwestern Africa, because of this. It was prime area, because it had the Strait of Gibraltar, and then it would lead into the Mediterranean Sea, and it's a bunch of trade routes that people could access, like through the seaports and stuff like that. Al-Zawrawi was an Arab, and this is the best depiction I could find of him, in my opinion. But he was responsible for a lot of the ideas and theosophy that ensued across the Western Islam, you know what I'm saying? And he actually came up with the prophetic medicine practice called hadith, right? And I'm gonna try to find this. Hold on, it's not really not pulling up what I was trying to look up. Anyways, hadith medicine, like the medicine practice, y'all probably have seen the movie Karate Kid, right? And the part where he had like broke his leg or something, or sprained his ankle or something, and Mr. Miyagi was, you know what I'm saying, he had the little match, he had the fire, and he started rubbing his hands across his legs and stuff, and it was healing him, right? That's what hadith medicine was, because it was like energy vessels through transformation of like palm energy and stuff like that. which is like electromagnetic force of, I'm saying, thermal heat energy being transferred, stuff like that. I mean, and yeah, I mean, I haven't really healed no one yet, or I don't even know the extremities of what's on the other side of that spectrum, right? Yeah, I mean, I feel like anybody could do anything to an extent, right? But anyways, other subjects that had, you know what I'm saying, prevail or was getting more popular was like astronomy, Ptolemaic astronomy, you know what I'm saying, the quant theory of migration and stuff like that had influence, you know what I'm saying, as it started to get more populated in that area, which really a lot of people started to push the Aristotle's theories of homocentric spheres, which is kind of like, in my opinion, homocentric spheres would be like two of the, if I put it this way, it'd be like two different colored squares, but they're both squares, right? Which is in a sense what Ptolemaic theories are to begin with, right? But for that culture, it was the or I should say, for not that culture, but for that Spain, or for Spain and Portugal, northwestern Africa, and in that area, that I said, there was three main religious groups: Muslims, Christians, and Jews, with distinctions between Arabs and Berbers, right? Because Berbers are more like barbaric type of people, with, you know what I'm saying, like ripped muscles. They got their metal helmet on, you know what I'm saying, got their spears in their hands, shields and stuff like that. And it was mostly like Moors with a few other stuff, right? A few other mix. And Arabs, they weren't as beastly, right? They were more the Zen type of laid back type, right? Where they ride on their camels and bask in the sun and stuff like that. And I mean, that's my take on it, but there's probably more out there. And a lot of this I should say integration was taking place in the kind of around like the 10th century, or which would have been like 900, would have been like the 900s, right? And it was a massive conversion of Christians that took place, because they wanted to they sought to practice the Muslim religion, right? Because it was a deeper insight to the ethers of reality, right? And that's kind of what the Caliphate of Cordova, the Caliphate of Cordova was about, right? And a lot of these theosophers and the I say the theosopher scientists, or the cultivators, they were in search for more theosophy, or more prevalent type of idea, or not necessarily ideas, but the involvement of nature around, right? Nature and elements, stuff like that. And in search of this theosophy, loyalists to the Muslim religion would seek to study psycholinguistics, right? Because that's kind of what people do when they read books. They interpret their own That's where interpretation is. It's psycholinguistics. They interpret their own religion that was there before, right? As seen in Andalusian literature, that had dominated the Islamic faith, right? As far as prophetic words and scripts being written by rich noble Cordovan Marabouts, right? And I'll show us what a Marabout looked like, because this is. I'll just show y'all, right? It says a Muslim holy man or hermit, especially in North Africa, right? And we see that this is a prophetic type of dude right here, like the very. I don't know what I'm saying. We see cuz, right? We see cuz, stuff like this. So even it looks like what it looks like to he has a fez on and stuff like that, right? He's enlightened and stuff like that, right? And these Marabouts, and which would later, in my opinion, later through etymology, they started to be called Moabites, right? Which kind of sounds very similar. It does sound very similar. And through the literature and scholarship, there was a lot of advances. It's estimated over 400,000 to 500,000 volumes of scriptures, ancient literatures that would be contained in these libraries and stuff like that, right? And a lot of the prosperity of the scriptures and stuff like that attracted travelers, diplomats, and a lot of scholars, right? As far as what was there in its vessel alone, you know what I'm saying? Not speaking on intellectual capacity and interpretation, but just off of the architecture and the statues and the whole auric field of that environment, right? And during the 9th century, it started to bring in new styles of art, music, literature into the Eastern Islamic world, right? And this grew more popular during the Al-Hakim II, right? As far as works on nature and love, right? Because these were scripts. Well, it was literature, right? On textiles and scrolls. That was getting passed down through clergy and higher churches and stuff, right? And it was called. I'm gonna try my best to pronounce this, but I might be kind of off. It was called Muwasha. That's my take on it, right? And it says Muwasha is the name for both Arabic poetic form and secular musical genre. The poetic form consists of a multi-line strophic verse poem written in classical Arabic, usually consisting of 5 stanzas, alternating refrain with a running rhyme. That's basically modern day rapture, right? It is modern day rapture, as far as one's own prophetic visions or ideas that get formulated into books, right? Because that's what it's like, painting pictures with storytelling and stuff like that, right? As far as the golden age and stuff like that, and a lot of these arts and stuff like that, they still are around today, right? As far as I mean, if you find them, it's there, right? But some of the higher, well, I'm not gonna say higher powers, right? But some of the churches and stuff like that would apocryphize the text, right? Let me see if I can find this vocabulary word, because this is, hold on. Let me see. Apocrypha. Yeah, yeah. This is what they're doing now too. I should say, like United States government officials, Ron DeSantis, and other people that participate in taking, you know what I'm saying, old literature books out of libraries, taking stuff out of print. That's why I went ahead and I bought that Black's Law Dictionary, because it's not gonna always be on the shelf. They're sitting, right. Even alone, there's supply and demand as far as who wants to buy a book, or in the same sense, what people don't want people to get set as source, because they were practicing this as part of their, well, I'm not gonna say they, but Hellenistic Judaism would get rid of they would start to destroy certain books and stuff like that. And I'm gonna show us this definition of what apocrypha means, right? It says to hide away. Let me get this a better view. Apocrypha from Greek, apocryphatine, to hide away, works outside an accepted canon of scripture. The history of the term's usage indicates that it is referred to a body of esoteric writings that were first prized, later tolerated, and finally excluded. Let me repeat that, right? Esoteric writings. That means ancient scriptures, you know what I'm saying, King James Version, stuff like that. You got the Ecclesiastics, you know what I'm saying? You got the seer. It goes on, right? Writings that were first prized, venerated, you know what I'm saying? And later tolerated, meaning, in my opinion, this means later, like, they didn't want people to get aware of some of that stuff, right? And then finally excluded, right? But that's why oral traditions, they can't really be eradicated, because it's an oral dialect. It's not really on paper, and that's where vernacular abilities derive from. Vernacular abilities, right? As far as what a vernacular, prophetic vernacular ability is native. All right, it's native. Straight off Merriam-Webster dictionary, using a language or a dialect native to a region or a country rather than a literary culture or foreign language, right? That means it's an inherited type of ability, right? Of relating to a non-standard, right? That's the adjective part, and now I'm gonna go to the noun, right? Vernacular. Because I'm gonna read this and now I'm gonna let y'all know another piece, right? A vernacular language, expression or mode of expression, an expression or mode of an expression that occurs in ordinary speech rather than formal writing. The mode of expression or group of class, right? And peep, that's modern day freestyling. That's what it is. And if we could see this root word, vern, because we know ocular is similar to acular, right? Because ocular is like eyes, acular. I'm not that deep into that part of the word yet, right? But the root part of vern, right here, the root part of vern is the same thing that we see in government, right? And what is the I should say the suffix ment mean? Is like a mentality, a mentalism, or a verment, right? It's concreting the inhabitants of what was already here, right? And it continues to transcend, in my opinion, because even if they try and take stuff off the shelf, that's why I try and get mine as soon as I can, for real. You feel me? I got the law dictionary, 2 law dictionaries actually. Um, I'm gonna continue to get more and other resources when the time is right and stuff like that. I just peeped. That's kind of cool how you can see like the spherical aberration in my glasses. That's kind of neat. I mean, I just peeped that shit though. But back to this type B, and and a lot of the stanzas and the lines and stuff like that is literally what helped Jews and Christians to ascend in their mental vibrational plane, right? And because they had came from the north region of the Spain and everything like that, right? And because I'm gonna break it down. On this map of Spain. All right, let me pull my map up. Okay. Here we go. Let me switch this setting real quick. That's funny. Here we go. Right here. We can see this well. We can see this okay. Let me see. Try and get this right. Trying to see the refraction through like the double screen, but this should be well enough, right? But I hope we can see this. It should be cool. Alright, that should be cool, right? So Christians, or I should say, yeah, Christians and stuff, they came from the north, right? They came from this north area of the Celtic Sea. And I'm trying to zoom out a little bit. From this area, coming from like the Switzerland and France area down this way, right? And of course you got Barcelona right there, shout out Hannibal. Zoom out a little bit more. All right, here we go. And it was I should say, Christians and Muslims were separated by this mountain range right here this mountain range is called Sierra de Guadarrama. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Which really spans from this Bay Area all the way into Zaragoza, right? In this area, and it extends from Coimbra to Zaragoza. See if I could zoom in a little bit more to get more definitive peep of the mountain range of Sierra de Guadarrama. And coming off of this, they had migrated in from this northern part, right? Which, if we think of what the landmass may have been like, or the weather may have been like, agriculture may have been like, the north, coming from the north, because it was as we can see right here, this is where land meets sea, so there's going to be heavy winds coming off of this waterfront of where the Celtic Sea is, and that exposed the north to biting winds, heavy rains, intense colds, and ultimately that made for good pasturage, though. You know what I'm saying? It made for good pasturage for that country, because heavy rains and stuff like that. You could probably grow some wheat there or something like that. However, further towards the south, it was more prime for actually cultivating agriculture and stuff like that. As far as the south, or I should say southern part of Spain, south of that mountain range that I had mentioned, it was, they faced hot winds and stuff like that, but it was supreme for the irrigation systems that they had created, because they had three, or not really three, but they had large rivers that flew through there. One being the Guadana River. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. The Guadana River. I'm trying to find this picture real quick. Hold on. Well, I can't find it right now. Another river was the Guadalquivir River, which is in the southern part, kind of by Granada, Seville, and Hijin, which kind of, it got, I don't know why Google has the actual, it's down here, right? It's down here along this line, but they gave me like a whole bunch of hotels and shit, right? Which I was looking for the river only, you know what I'm saying? But kind of like whatever, but and it kind of goes along this lower basin type area, right? Which as we can see down here, these rivers, people kind of like the Mississippi River, people would travel up and down them. Not only would they use that water for irrigation and stuff like that, people would travel up down so they could trade and stuff for textiles, ceramics, glass blown type of objects, the whole, you know what I'm saying, telescopes and different stuff like that for whatever they wanted to trade, you know what I'm saying. And another, or I should say not one last river, but another main river was the Tagus River, right? Which it had led into the area of Lisboa, which is the bottom. It's kind of like the bottom left of, or Lisbon. So I thought it was Lisboa. Here we go. Yeah, we can see that this port down here. Hold on. We can see that this port down here leads into, well, it leads into this ocean right here, but it leads into more the Tagus River up here, and it allows for, zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, it goes all the way, and it creaks around, stuff like that. It's probably a better picture of what it looks like, because all of this right here is the center flow for these large cities that operated on the peninsula, right, and in part of Andalus and stuff like that. And in real theory, the Moors had organized 2/3 of the peninsula that was in their right, kind of the area that I showed you that was separated by that mountain range, which, I mean, I feel like all land is cool land. Not all land is cool land. Definitely not all land is cool land, right? It's not like you could, you know what I'm saying, go sun tanning in Antarctica, right? Because, I mean, I don't know. I ain't never been that way, right? But 2/3 of the peninsula was marked off for Moorish nature, which Arabs call Andalus, you know what I'm saying? And it was the wonderful kingdom of Cordova, you know what I'm saying? As part of that, that mass population in that area, the citizen classes or the migrating citizen classes had to pay a poll tax. I mean, there was no exact amount of the poll tax, but it varied in different ranks as far as how much one person had with them, right? Or what area, but they would pay a poll tax of 12 to 48 dirhams a year, which was the trading currency for Muslims and Christians and Jews of that area. Yeah. It's a silver unit currency that was used in Arab fluent states, which, you know what I'm saying, and Christians and Jews of that area. Yeah, it's a silver unit currency that was used in Arab fluent states, which, you know what I'm saying, and Christians and Jews of that area. Yeah, it's a silver unit currency that was used in Arab fluent states, which, you know what I'm saying, and Christians and Jews of that area. Yeah, it's a silver unit currency that was used in Arab fluent states, which, Yeah, yeah. I mean, today it says it's like a quarter worth of U.S. dollar. Actually 2.7. But and shit, and they, well, yeah, immigrants and stuff pay the, you know what I'm saying, poll tax to travel through there and everything, as far as going, you know what I'm saying, to the universities and the different statues, the mosques there, libraries, stuff like that. Well, I should say different other attractions that allured people for whatever purpose they went to Andalusia for, right? And not only, well, that poll tax was for converts, right? But there was a there was a land tax. Um, I think I'm not entirely sure, but it might have been like King Tariq that imposed this on that area, right? And that land tax was levied across across all ranks, right? It was across all ranks, even including Moors, right? Which in my opinion, I mean, it's fair, because cultivators could alienate their lands and were only required to pay a portion of their crop or their yield to the higher noble class, or I should say, as part of the, you know what I'm saying, their homage and shit like that, right? Which it's fair and it's right, you know what I'm saying, because those rivers had access to a lot of different access for ports, different irrigation, and very fertile lands in that sense, right? Let me get my shit correct. And in the long run, it made for a positive growth for the entirety of all of the inhabitants. Because during the 8th century, there wasn't a single religious revolt, because people were, you know what I'm saying, they were cooling, you know what I'm saying, as far as all of the prosperity and peace, the harmony of the trade that was coming across from the Mediterranean Sea to Italy, from Italy across the Tyrrhenian Sea, you know what I'm saying? It's not letting me zoom in on my computer, this shit crazy. Yeah, here we go. From Marseille to, you know what I'm saying, Spain, even to the different islands, you know what I'm saying? You got the different, you got Ibiza, Palma, stuff like that. And, well, not literally stuff like that, but, you know what I'm saying, you get my point. And different, well, I should say, different tribes, like Berber tribes, like has spawned out of such a prosperity, like the Fatimites. I think I might have said that wrong. The Fatimites, which was the caliphate. You know what I'm saying? It was spanning across North Africa, on that edge, that northern border edge, where right here I can show us. Yeah, this is where a lot of even it's prime for trading, right? As far as how much, you know what I'm saying, land and strategic geopolitical land was held, because right here we got Strait of Gibraltar, you know what I'm saying, got a canal right here, and then you have like the further on the northwest side, or not further on the northwest, but just right on the northwest side, you had the Al Marabouts, I think. Yeah, I think I said that right. I'm trying to look this up for us. Here we go. Yeah, it's right here. And we could see that it had started down here at the bottom, kind of like I think this. I'm not sure where this is present day, but this is Northwest Africa, and then it goes up to across this landmass where the coast of the sea is, which would have been. This is, if I had to guess, this is like Mali right here. This is like present day Mali, if I had to guess. Also where Abu Bakr III has sailed from to Brazil when he left his empire reign to Mansa Musa, right? Which is like a side fact, right? As far as, because it was conquered. All of Africa was not all of Africa. Of course, there was more to see, right? But it was, you know what I'm saying, basically already prospering, and the trade was ensuing and stuff like that. Had led all the way up into the bottom part of Spain. And then you had like Toledo, stuff like that. But in my opinion, well, I mean, I still got, you know what I'm saying, of course there's more for me to learn and stuff like that, because I continue to try and find more introspective type of, you know what I'm saying, theories that I could come across, and reading some of those books and a lot of the scriptures and literatures, it did make myself realize that it was an influence of a lot of cultures that had different Semitic languages, or that people had came to respect and everything like that, for the aura of the buildings and everything that was there, and past, you know what I'm saying, monuments or mosques, temples, barracks, you know what I'm saying, gardens, residences, stuff like that, which in itself, even the fact that, like, this, or I should say, this mosque right here, this is, can this be seen? Shit, let me chill. Right here, this is probably cool. I don't know. Yeah, anyways, this right here, this mosque, the Great Mosque of Córdoba, yeah, Al-Hakim II, it was built an extension out of it, right? The architecture within these walls and these, you know what I'm saying, ribbed type of intrinsic designs, the way this circle intersects with that circle, and then you got this one. You see these intersection points right here. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about them using a Masonic scalar compass to find the direct intersecting point of said circle in that parabolic like intersection point, right? Because that's kind of what I was bringing up that one article when I was talking about hyperbolic planes and stuff like that, as far as there's awestruck architecture, including Alhambra, stuff like that, for what is. I think we could build, I'm not saying we could, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying that could be recreated or anything, but I think we could build different type of buildings, maybe nothing as big as that, because even that in itself, that can't be recreated, right? But stuff actually could be taken to pay homage to stuff like that, and get the truth out there as far as, you know what I'm saying, what is, what past history we or what past history all of us play a part in, for you know what I'm saying, obtaining more freedom and stuff like that, or within the realm of, you know what I'm saying, reality and stuff like that. But in a lot of the conversion of like the 10th century, you know what I'm saying, they call them like Hispano-Romans, who converted to Islam and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying. It was in the number of like 6 to 7 million, right? Which a lot of them, a lot of the land and cultivation was what they call agronomy, right? Where they would that's where they would start to introduce like the wheel, and where you would see like the mule with the I'm not sure entirely sure what they call it, but they would have like you would see that cow with the little wheel on its back, that would, you know what I'm saying, till the fertile soil and everything. That's where a lot of the cultivation would take place, right? As far as, because they grew a lot of different fruits, vegetables, crops, stuff like that, from eggplants to bananas to watermelon, you know what I'm saying, even pretty much anything, right? Well, not literally anything, because different hardiness for the soil is can grow different types of food, right? According to like the acidity or the salinity or acidity in the base. They call it acidity and base. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. For what has grown and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the agronomy that blossomed was, you know what I'm saying, producing voluptuous fruits and even luscious vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, I mean, my parents, they had like a little garden in their backyard and stuff. But it wasn't really nothing like, you know what I'm saying, acres of vineyards, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, from, or like a grapevine yard or olive vine yard, which in that past day, or in the past times, olive oil was a delicacy. It may still be like that. I don't know, I haven't been to Europe in a little while, which, I mean, yeah, I see myself going back there and stuff in due time, but I mean, almost reading, you know what I'm saying, or listening to the lecture, reading the context, reading some of these books. It's almost like you're traveling there in your own paradigm, right? As far as what is, you know what I'm saying, or literally what past reality is, because a lot of this stuff you won't see inside of a public school. I can assure you, you know what I'm saying. Just take my word for it, right? Literally though, but and I mean, yeah, I would see. Like I said previously, I could see myself donating like hella books to the library, or for in retrospect, just building my own library, right? Because the books is already literally, they're gonna be there, right? Well, not literally, because they could get burned down, right? I mean, that's what happened in the past, but I don't see myself burning any books. Or, you know what I'm saying, I just wouldn't buy a book that I'm not interested in, you feel me? Which, I mean, any person wouldn't buy a book to not read it, right? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, which, and in any sense. I know some people, they buy like what, 3 books at a time, 4 books at a time. Obviously you can't really read like 4 different books at a time in your hand. Maybe some people can if they got like wandering eyes or something, but I mean, that's probably some superhuman type of ability, right? But long story short, the resources is out there, you know what I'm saying? As far as not only limiting yourself to one source, or I should say, even myself, right? I'm saying there maybe you could look, maybe there aren't other people making lectures like this, right? Maybe there are. I haven't ran into many yet. Right? But hopefully more people do start making different, you know what I'm saying, introspective sites like this, and the eminence of the energy that is already here, right? But I'm saying, and then long story short, I know in due time it'll all be cool as far as what we know the truth to be, not necessarily United States government and their democratic forces, right? Or I should say, I don't know what's on their agenda plan. I mean, I kind of do. I take that back. I kind of do know what's on their agenda plan. But I mean, I say all that to say, you're not helpless, right? Nor are you hopeless. But you have to take the steps on your own to, I'm saying, put yourself in that position, right? Like a part of the large reason why people are migrating into Spain and stuff like that was to go on their own hermeneutic path. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has out of all 8 billion, 7 billion people on Earth, people control their free will and their own religion, right? And that's why people were seeking the enlightenment, to put themselves in that position in order to, you know what I'm saying, gain new ideas, different resources, Mohammedan type of Islamic Christendom, as far as where the insight lies and stuff like that, in my opinion. Even Christianity, Judaism, not necessarily that I agree with that type of, you know what I'm saying, like, I wouldn't agree with ravaging a whole Enoch type of city, right? I wouldn't agree with that, right? But people could do whatever, you feel me? And, well, not literally whatever. I mean, you should go up to someone, point blank them in the head, right? I mean, you could, literally, physically, you could, right? Physically, you could, but I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna murder nobody, right? That's like some red rum, you feel me? Which, in a sense, is the red rum is the dope, is the blood, right? In my opinion, for different interpretations for different people, right? But in my opinion, what makes interpretation easier is the stanzas and the rhymings, the hymns, the hawk, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what memorization is. That's how people memorize some things, and or whatever ideas that people may want to express while they continue to transcend the oppression that has been placed upon them. And I mean, I get it, you know what I'm saying? I get it as far as how people cope with different stuff, right? But in my opinion, coping can be healthy, right? I guess it all depends. I guess it all depends on how people handle their circumstance or maneuver about where they want to be, where they see themselves, and continue to, you know what I'm saying, prevail through adversity and stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I really be, you know what I'm saying, trying to get the word out there and stuff like that, but I am about to dive all in it and just say fuck this shit, you feel me? Because I'm already here, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm already hearing shit. But you know what I'm saying? And I enjoy making these lectures. Again, because I learn more when I create these introspective type of lectures, articles, blogs, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? And even well, personally, I don't really go to church, you know what I'm saying? Cause I feel like, I mean, everybody got their own idea of a main organized church, right? Technically, I myself am my own forum. I am my own church state, technically, right? I don't go to I know my family does. My family does. They go to like this main church, this main Baptist church. Somewhere in Columbus. But this university in itself is where people come to, you know what I'm saying? Cool out, relax, chill, you know what I'm saying? Shit, if you want to smoke weed, I'm not going to judge you, bruh. If you want to take a shot, I'm not going to judge you. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I'm not in a horrible place to berate anybody or saying, of course the truth got to get out there, but I'm saying, church talking in these streets, you should call it dragging. Used to get jiggy with doves, now I pray with past tense. Took a dip of holy water, I'm holy fashion. Y'all gotta hear the message though, you feel me? The resources out there. Until next time, leave as I come.